sige lang.
Uy, di
Okay,
ba katawag sir, kay realization ra ba?
pindi. Okay, so may buntag, may gabi, Sir Edmond. So this is our first lecture for our course, Mixed Methods. So the whole lecture is taken from Designing and Conducting Mixed Methods Research book of Dr. Creswell and Dr. Clark's, no, in 2017. I think this is the latest one. They're about to publish daw, but it's not yet available. 2025, the newer edition. But for now, we'll be using the 2017, and I think it's still relevant up to now. So here, in this course, it's very important that we talk about nature of mixed methods research. Okay, it's a it's a it's an essential skill to know what research is considered a mixed method and what research isn't a mixed method. Okay. Probably in your master's or in your graduate degree or professional life, you've read many papers or at least some papers online that are described to be mixed methods. Tama? Ako, I have seen several papers saying and claiming that they are mixed methods. But when I'm finished reading their work, I would disagree that the paper is really a mixed methods research. No, like for example, I saw a paper. They described that what they did as their research design was they collected quantitative data using a Likert scale, and then for the qualitative data, they had an open-ended question after as part two of the survey questionnaire, and they already claimed that it's a mixed method, so an open-ended question. Um, so they say it's a mixed method. So we'll see through the discussion if we can consider that as a mixed methods research cap. Um, Sometimes, in an online world, no, our mistakes, our achievement gets amplified, so as our mistakes. Diba? Would you agree? uh, our achievements can be amplified, and so with our mistakes. So for example, you publish a work and many people can see it, and you can be easily criticized online using social media. I remember, I don't know if you would relate, but recently I saw a paper. My a friend, a taxonomist friend from Davao Oriental State, he published the work criticizing a work of another faculty member from Northeastern Mindanao, Northeastern Mindanao State U, because they published an erroneous paper. No, they described a supposedly new species, which is not truly a new species. And kato akong friend nga taga Davao Oriental is a known expert in entomology, particularly in beetles. So he criticized their work. So the mistake gets amplified. And yeah, we get to learn there nga. So when we try to publish our work, we make sure that we publish it in reputable outlets. Kay katumanggong nag-publish siya katong sa NIMSU, they publish it in a predatory journal, which we could learn two things. One is we should do good science. Second, we should publish in reputable journals. Kaya if only they did good science, and okay ra, wala problema. Bahalag predatory journal pa. But if poor science nilang gibuhat, when yung gipublish a reputable journal, then it would not be accepted because when it's reviewed, they would say nga it's not good. It's not really a new species. So similarly here in your work, later when you do your dissertation, you will be required to publish your work. So I would encourage you to really submit it to reputable journals because publishing in predatory journals will do you more harm than good later. No, I tell you that because I also had my fair share. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm an expert, but I also had experience with predatory journals. Even the first paper I published was considered I mean, the journal was considered a predatory journal, although it had already received many citations for about 50 plus citations, but still, it can haunt you for the rest of your life. But although it's also a learning experience, and I get to share it to you, di ba? So, kira gyapon. So, ngayon nataas kaya akong intro. So, here is our outline. We'll talk about we'll define mixed methods research. We trace a little bit about the history and how the definition of mixed methods research evolved from a simple methods perspective to a methodology perspective. We also look at examples of mixed method studies, and from there we can generate uh, what research problems. So we look at examples, and from these examples, we can look at the research problems that require mixed methods. In many of my lectures, I would always emphasize that methods will come only second. We always consider first the problem because the problem should dictate the kind of method we will use, you're supposed to use. I remember many graduate students we had, even PhD students, they're very kind of obsessed. Gusto na ako makita yung mga dagway. No? If you can turn on your camera, I'd appreciate para makita na ko yung mga reaction if kasabot pa mo sa akong mga kinaistorya. Okay, yeah. For those who can, kindly. If you can't, it's okay. Mas ganahan ko makita yung mga dagdaw. How can we know that a journal? We'll have a lecture on this, I think, in the pinaka-last na to nga lecture. Sige lang. I also have a YouTube video there. Pwede sa tamo tagaan. When I gave a talk in one conference. Anyway, yeah. Many graduate students, as I've mentioned, are very obsessed with methods. Okay, for example, they want to have a dissertation that is very sophisticated, paminawon, no, very sophisticated. So they wanted to, let's say, for example, use kind of mga sophisticated design without thinking that the problem they are dealing with only requires simple quantitative study or a simple qualitative study. So sometimes, ang mahitabo, since the student is obsessed with a kind of mixed methods design, just to sound sophisticated, pugson ang problem. They try to alter, not alter, to deform the problem such that it would fit the design. And often, especially if naka-encode ko sa panel, although dili ako ang gabara, makita na to. I would notice nga, o nga mabara din siya sa panel because your panel members are very familiar with your field. For example, math ed. Ako di ako kabalo ko gamay but dili expert sa math ed, but maka-comment din sila nga this is not really a problem. Kung nahitabo di ay simple ra untang problem, but because kato yung gusto nga method, yang gipugos. So magbalik-balik, you would mingon gid mo nga I might be a broken record nga magbalik-balik gid ko mingon nga we would begin with the research problem first and then the mixed methods. Most of our lectures magbalik-balik ta ana. And then finally, we'll talk about the advantages and the challenges of using mixed methods. Hopefully, to encourage you to use this kind of design when you encounter problems that are appropriate for mixed methods. Okay? Sige. Mixed methods or MMR, mixed methods research, has been gaining popularity among researchers. For example, kita kami diri sa department, diri sa college, when we revised the program, especially your program, the PhD Math, it was revised in 2020, I think. Yeah, in 2020. That was the time when many of our faculty members had attended short courses on mixed methods, and we saw and we appreciated the kind. Katong kami, when we were still students, we did not have this kind of subject. Again, it's a somehow new, relatively new here in the country. Although in other countries, it started sometime in 1980, 87, 88, and nisikat in some 2000s. And there is ato sa Philippines, it's gaining attention. It's even called a new star in the social science sky. No? And the main reason for the popularity of MMR because MMR is similar to how we do things in life. Like for example, You're a medical doctor, diba? When you diagnose a patient, you don't only rely on the charts using the saan yun, the CBC, the blood chem, and other lab results. You would also appreciate patient's history, getting the patient's history. You would also appreciate talking to the patient, asking them to describe the pain, asking them to describe what they feel, and so on, because those will take part in your diagnosis. So here we see the importance of getting quantitative data through the laboratory results. At the same time, we get the patient's history, the qualitative component, to get a fuller picture of what the patients are actually experiencing. Di ba? So that's an intuitive way of doing things. Teachers, kita. When we talk to parents during parents teachers conferences, we don't only tell the parents nga, your child got 92 in math, he's second in his class, he committed five mistakes in the final exam. Nga na naman ito istorya. We don't give them just the student performance, but we also describe the behavior, the attitude of the students, so that the parents get an understanding of how their children behave in their class. While academic performance is important, it's also good that parents gauge where their children are in terms of other non-tangible, tawag ano, mga other characteristics. Si term nila, no? Other, nalibot na nung ko, may baguhan na nga trend sa education nga. Di na daw mag-focus sa mga academic. Nakalimot ko si tawagan to. Si Pafte, ganun pa uso-usuan to. Anyway, yeah. Uh, Politicians, for example, um, politicians do not only rely on kanang their satisfaction ratings. They also use kanang bitang voters stories as part of their campaign. So for example, when you look at ads, when you look at mga projects by politicians, they target a certain group of voters. Like kanina when we were on the road gikan sa among house padung sa university, I was with my wife and na-stress mi gamay kay there was a road closure somewhere sa si downtown kay taga uptown man mi. Somewhere sa downtown na road closure niya. Ngun din akong wife niya. Inatong mayor baka mahilig kaayo og kanang pabibo nga mga activities niya. I told her nga actually that kay ganahan siya nga na because mo man na iyang target nga mga voters. Kay if you would notice, tanan gid activities sa among mayor diri sa Cagayan kay puro targeting the 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 masa. Kay mo man na iha mga voters. Di ka kakitag mga activity nga para sa mga dato, sa mga highly educated. Imagine iyang major program kanang kasalan ng bayan, di ba? Halos kada semana gakasal siya og mga 100 plus couples nga living in together nga tagaan niya glitchon, isa ka sako ba nga bugas? Dayon, basta ka nang, you don't have to pay anything to get married ba? And so it's really targeting the masa. Mm. And how do they structure their campaign through the stories of through the stories of the voters. So not only the satisfaction, their performance, but they hear out stories and then use that as means for their campaign. And that's what we also want to do with mixed methods because it's an opportunity to see and hear things through multiple ways. So when you do quantitative study only, you only see one side of the picture. You do quali, you see one side of the picture. So to get the fuller understanding of the phenomena understudied, we appreciate to use different kinds of research design, di ba? Mugali nang nauso na nang gitawag nila og multidisciplinary studies, di ba? Because they're putting premium to different disciplines studying one field because each discipline has their own POV, point of view. So similarly, like shown in the caricature on the right side, you would see. Wait sa akin, natambunan sa inyo mga dagway. Okay. Here, for example, if you're this guy, you will only see this one. If you're this guy, ano na pwede mong makita? The same with our research designs. Kasi research designs, they have their own strengths. They also have their own limitations. Di ba? For example, your quantitative study, its strength is its generalizability. Di ba? But its weakness is its depth. Mabaw ra siya. You are only scratching the surface. Compared to qualitative, it does not have the ability to being generalizable, but there is depth. So if you try to combine the two, you're actually harnessing the strengths, which is the generalizability and the depth, while while we are offsetting the limitations of the two methods. So it provides us multiple ways to address the research problem. So siguro yung mga una-una karon kay, mag-mix methods na good me. Char. Bitaw. Sige lang, taas pa itong pag-uban. So here are some traces of how definitions of mixed methods evolve. So more importantly, very essential in this table is we look at the initial definition of mixed methods was focused on methods. When we say say difference sa methods o methodology before they ko mo proceed, basin dili ta familiar. Anyone? Say difference sa method o methodology. Anyone? Uy, nag-PhD na ba ito, ha? The difference. Hala, oy. Namalong na rin silang mga kamera, mga lagbatasan. Naman mga undergrad. Yeah, this is a PhD course na I would expect at least that you would interact. I know you would have experience in your masters and then probably some had in their professional life, especially katong nasa state U or working in universities or colleges. Sige, para di ta malangan, can I defense pagka 12 noon? When we say methods, these are the collection of techniques, kanang the thing that you use in your study. Like for example, you do purposive sampling, you do convenience sampling, and then you use a survey. Those are methods. When you say methodology, it describes the framework of your study. So the methodology covers from problem identification until how you discuss your result. Meaning it's the whole research. It does not specify, I mean, methods is under methodology. So methodology is the larger umbrella that includes method. Method are the techniques. Methodology is an approach. Like for example, qualitative methodology. Oh. Ganun sa dayon nga technique. Sa nga technique, you do interview, you do FGD, you do documentary analysis. Sama na ilang different. So what I'm trying to say is, uh, in the early beginnings of mixed methods research, it began as a methods definition. So what does that mean? Researchers were only focused on, when we say mixed methods, it's a study that uses quali and quanti. It does not necessarily mean that these two are integrated, that these two are mixed, quote unquote. Importante lang is you did quali and you did quanti. What kinds of problem or what research questions were you answering in quali does not always entail it's related to the quanti. Buwag. There's no entanglement of the two. And later, if you see here, decades after, in 2003 until here in 2000, kang Creswell, kang Baber, and even kang Clark in 2007, there have been changes from methods to nahimong methodology, nahimong viewpoints, methodology. methods, methodology, and philosophy. And then in Creswell, again, in 2014, it's methods. And he said there are core characteristics of, of, of mixed methods. In 2015, methods, and there's what he called as contested terrain, meaning methods, but there are things that are still in debate. Oh. But now, as I've said, the book we're using is in 2017. So Creswell here shifted from methods perspective to methodology. So what do we mean by that? So let's look at here, for example, when Green in 1989 described methods, he said that we define mixed methods design as those that include at least one quantitative method and one qualitative method where neither type of method is inherently linked to any particular inquiry paradigm. So it meaning the quantity and quality might not be linked. Basta importante lang na quantity ka o nag-quali ka. Okay, there's no overarching question or overarching framework integrating the two. Sige lang, mas masabtan na ninyo in a short while. Yeah, and decades later, I've mentioned earlier that it shifted from methods orientation to methodological orientation, where we consider the MMR of things in all the phases of the research process, beginning with the identification of the research problem, looking at the philosophical assumption, and even the theoretical assumptions of the research up to the selection of methods, the analysis of results, and even in the establishment of the conclusion. So here, in this definition of mixed methods, they're no longer limited to just using quantity and quality. So meaning there must be a reason, a justification why there's a need to use quanti and quali. Dili lang kay para to multiple ways of seeing and hearing to gather more evidence. Not just that, but there's an overarching justification. And here, uh, according to Johnson, he said that why do we do quanti and quali? Because we wanted to harness the breadth and the depth of understanding and corroboration. He generated this synthesis by looking at 19 papers published, 19 different definitions from 21 published researchers in different journals. In sometime later, uh, the Journal of Mixed Methods Research was established, and they also had their own definition. If you look at their definition, it's also methodological and also incorporating methodological and methods orientation. So here, importante pud sa ila that the researcher uses both quali and quanti approaches or methods in a single study, but kani pinaka-importante yung keyword here, there is integration of the finding. Sige, unsay pasabot ana, sir? Sige, I'll give a good example. Um, you're looking at client satisfaction for a certain company, no? You're doing client satisfaction. So what you did is you did survey which generated the level of satisfaction of your clients, correct? And then from that, you interviewed. Pwede ba nga mag-interview ko una ay ako mag survey. Kaya mas maayo. Mag-una ko mag-interview or mag-una ko mag-survey. Be anyone can you share your insights? You're interested in looking at the experiences of the clients. At the same time, you also want to look at their level of satisfaction for a certain services provided or products availed. Anyone? Uy, this is a Unsa ni? Yes, Ma'am Princess.
For me, sir, wala may mali answer na try lang.
Kung wala,
Ano, sir,
ano, chika-chika ra man
ah,
ato.
I'll have the survey first. So,
Okay.
di ba, sir, it could be like asking questions, di ba, na
Mm.
naman ang list. So, they could at least have an idea
Mm.
towards kung unsa man ang after the interview, baka mag-follow up and they could interview. So, it could be like an idea. Baka sometimes, ako, ga-answer po kog survey. Mas okayan ko mag-answer kog survey, sir, ay ako mag-answer sa interview. Kasi kung sa survey magod is, ay pa na ako makita nga, ay uno, kani man nga part kailangan man rin ako i-evaluate. Kani pod kailangan po din ako i-evaluate. So after the survey din, sir, mas nako idea sa during the interview, ana sir. And then
Okay.
aside unang interview, sir, wala lang murag mabayas na din ko, sir, kay agtuon din ako sa survey. Lumabin akong gingon sa kuan interview. I don't know. Basta mas okay ko sa survey una, sir, kaysa sa interview.
So, would you say, Ma'am Princess, no, of all the time, it would be good that we do survey first than interview. Based sa imong
Sige.
last nga argument nga kanang makakuha na sila possible answers sa interview dayon basin ilan na lang dayon yung kanon ng ilang survey.
Yes, 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 sir. Pero not, pero kung pangutaran nga sa all the time, sir, dili siguro.
Okay, sige. Playing
Depende
safe
case
Ako
to
po,
case.
answer ba? Sige.
ako po, sir, ako po.
Unsa man Sir Edmond?
In my case, sir, sa undergrad pa mi, I would prefer nga interview first before the survey.
Baliktad.
Yes, sir. Because sa interview mo good sir, makita na nimo ang makakuha na kag insight sa mga tao, ilang perceptions. Para sa ako sir, mag-matter gid ang perceptions and
Mhm.
imo din ma-properly construct ang imong survey questions. Kay
Okay.
kung ang imo magong survey quest, kung hindi sa magong survey question, sir, you do not talk while you do survey. So, ang pagka-construct, siguro ang wordings or the
Mhm.
direction of your surveys will be not so understood by them. However, kung nakuha na nimo ilang perception somehow, or what not necessarily the entire perception, pero naanagid kay construct, sir, as to how to uh, construct your survey. So I'd rather go for interview first than
Okay.
survey.
Okay. Sige. Sir Elnor. Yeah.
Okay, good morning, everyone. On my end, I will agree with what Maria Princess has stated a while back that most often than not, we have to conduct the survey first before conducting the interview. Let's say, for instance, to the example or the premise that has been provided, which is the level of satisfaction. Let's say, for example, we have gathered already the level of satisfaction. Say, we have a high level of satisfaction, low level of satisfaction, and whatnot. So, after gathering the quantitative data, we have to validate that through an interview. Like, how can you say that? Can you elaborate further? O ganong high siya? So, things like, for example. So, yeah, in some instances or in most cases, maguna ang survey ay ang interview for me.
Okay. Sige. Na mo yung mga arguments nga. Una ni most cases kani. So, mubalik ta sa katakong yun ko ganina bitaw nga. Are we really problem oriented or methods oriented? So, in the truth of the matter, walay general rule. Because as I've mentioned earlier, when we look at designs to use in study, una gyud ang problem. So imong research design should adjust to the problem. So ako sa nang strike out daan ha. So I'm not the question I ask should not put an impression sa inyo na ay general rule nga unahon ni dapat. But in the case of the example, yeah, in the context I provided, what I want to derive at is kaning concept sa integration. Many of you I think highlighted the importance of doing interview first so that you know or your participants know the kinds of questions you will be asking in the interview. But you did not provide the connection between, although Sir Elnor tried, medyo nakulangan lang ko gamay, like, if you tried, you did not give me a good justification why do the interview first. Kaya if only you wanted to give them the question, you could have done the interview and gave them an orientation. Muna itong gusto buhaton. Una gyapon ko mag-interview. But the good justification why do the interview first is when you use the findings in the katong ingon ni Sir Elnor nga, you can categorize na dayon your participants as high level of satisfaction and low level of satisfaction and use that to select your participants for the quali. Sabtan ninyo? Because what's the purpose of the quali? Here, di ba supposedly it explains the quantitative result. If nagpataka lang ka og interview sa imong quali, wala nimo siya purposively selected, then you would not get the answers you'd like to explain your results in the quantitative. Muna itong ipasabot nga, integration of the findings. There must be, in your methodology, in your framework, an opportunity to link the findings of one design to another design. If dili na to na makita para itong inyong gi-describe ko ganina, basta kayo inyo lang paansiran, survey lang, paansiran quali, dili to siya methodology oriented. It's a methods orientation. You're just doing quanti and quali for the sake nga it's mixed methods. But it did not provide a third insight. Yan na naman insight sa imong quanti, insight sa imong quali, but it did not provide you the mixing insight, the integration insight. Sabtan to ninyo? I hope that's clearer when we look at methodology and methods orientation. So padayon lang ta, no? Sige. So here, so muna yung mga definition. So in for this course and for your whole stay here at USTP or wherever you will go after, pagwawan na mo sa inyong PhD, I hope you would abide with this definition of mixed methods. Here, we do not have a one-liner definition of mixed methods. Creswell and Clark instead gave us core characteristics. It actually combines methods, research design, and philosophy orientation. And these four characteristics are what we're going to use to define mixed methods from this point onwards. According to them, a mixed methods research is a research that collects and analyzes both qualitative and quantitative data rigorously in response to research questions and hypotheses. So meaning, a mixed method, an MMR research must have a quantitative research question and a qualitative research question. So dili siya quanti lang or quali lang. So dapat na quanti, na question for quali, and na po question for quanti. At akong gingon ka ganina, nga atong magpa-survey, then ay open-ended question. Does it meet this characteristic? Anyone? Manok lagi mong tubag sa ako. Dili mo ko judger. If wala pa establish idea ko. I joke. Okay. Ganina ning answer, Ma'am Sandy. Sorry, pa na ako nabasa. Okay, good insight. No, we'll discuss this more later. Sige. How about, sige, balik ta sa akong pangutana. Katong akong example nga, na Google Form o ako nang nagbuhat sa una when I was asked to do a monitoring study of an extension project. Titawag gani we tinapulan naman, no, sangin lang din pagkatapulan, pero fun good. It was because of lack of training, no? I'm better now. Sa una dili pa lugar, so we did a Google Form. There was a Likert scale we used, and then from that we had, I think, three questions, open-ended questions, and then we said it's a mixed methods research, and it was of course a blunder. But yeah, for the sake of ano na lang nato itong stepping stone to our learning experiences. So does that meet this characteristic? Depende, sir. No, actually, ang answer depende because you did not see the paper. In most papers I've read, kana mga ingana nga mga instruments ginagamit, usually wala na sila research question sa quali. Nagbutang-butang lang na sila og open-ended question because their advisor told them to put for the purpose that they will be able to help explain their quantitative findings, right? Nag-agree si Sir Michael. Nga na ang most often ako naibawan, no? So it does not meet. Napayuban nga ilagyan gabad nga ng research question and it's a good attempt. It actually meets. If there's a research question for the open-ended, then it meets these characteristics. But the problem is you had a research question for quali, but it does not satisfy a qualitative research design. Ano man? Sige daw, bayon sa inyo natunan sa inyong quali. Can an open-ended questionnaire form satisfy a qualitative design? Maklasify na ba na siya? Like nakoy pangutana. How did you feel? Wala ka imong question sa open-ended. How did you feel about the class today? Muna yung pangutana sa yung qualitative nga part kunuhay. Muna yung qualitative nga part. Does it meet the qualitative requirement, the rigors of a qualitative design? Medyo gadali ba ako gamay guys. Kaya na-defense at 12. Kung gusto mo mag-answer, answer na rin mo dito. So, ayun na mo pag-ulaw-ulaw. Yes, ma'am, princess.
Yes, sir. Answer na po. Answer for me, sir, it's not. Kasi nangutana lang ka ato, tapos one response. Tapos to have a qualitative ba yung response, dapat yun, naging na FGD, di ba? Para naagid, or like the triangulation, there should be three. Kay dili maka-conclude, you're going to publish something, then conclude something from one question. Di ba, dili? So, dapat nagi
Ade,
other
for example, one question lang to. Pero one question
ay,
lang to.
one
Have
question.
more. Like nga question, but you think,
Okay. Sige, sir.
sorry, I was not clear. But I think, yeah.
Sir.
So
Yes, sir.
what you're trying to say is the data that you'll get is not enough. I think that's the main point. Ba? Sakto ko, Ma'am Prince?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, ningon si okay, good. Ningon si Sir Michael, dili siya mo answer sa depth. Why? Can you do probing in a paper and pen instrument? No. Yan mo man ang pinaka-importante sa quali. 'Di ba? Because quali is supposed to, yeah, correct si Sir Michael. The quali is supposed to answer the question of depth. How can you get a deep answer ngadto lang imong pangutana? 'Di ba? You cannot get the root of the matter without doing an interview probably or an FGD. Correct. There's no possibility of follow-up or probing questions. So actually si Creswell gitawag na niya og mixed methods light. It's not really a mixed methods but light lang kay. Mabaw man kayo imong quali. I think in the 2011 nila nga book or 2014 they called it mixed methods light. Okay, next. I mentioned this earlier, the integration. Muna ang pinaka-importante nga component sa mixed method. So it does not only require you to collect quantity and quality data. There must be a third kind of question. We call this as an integrating question. Sige. Unsa may pasabot ni mo na, sir? So for example, balik ta sa katong level of satisfaction. So sa qualitative, ang imong question adto, for example, is what are the customers' experiences when buying at Churba Churba? Ano lugar imong qualitative? Then imong quantitative, what is the level of satisfaction? Unsa man imong integrating question? Imong integrating question, how do the experiences of the customers help explain their level of satisfaction? Churba, churba, churba. Nasabtan? So there must be a third kind of question where we ask the connection between our quali and quantitative questions. If we do not ask that third question, then it's not a true mixed methods. Okay, we're not integrating the two kinds of data. Third, ako nang gi-highlight kaganina sa kaganina nga example, there must be logic in the procedures. Mata ko yung ganito bitaw. So yung una buhaton, should we do quantity first? Should we do quali first? Nangutana ingon si Sir Sandy nga, if there's no established idea, concept, or framework, then interview na. That's correct, no? That's correct. If it's exploratory in nature, the study is exploratory in nature, assuming no you're correct na exploratory gid kay ingon exploratory but very very established na kay ang construct di lang nakabalo og literature review. Anyway, then it could be good nga interview una. So there must be reason. That's a good justification, Sir Sandy nga. Since there's no the construct is not yet well established, and it's good that we start with qualitative. So that's your mo na imong pasabot. Mo na pasabot niya ni you organize the sequence of your procedures with a justification in mind. And that justification will help you establish the novelty of your study. Okay? If you cannot justify why your study is arranged that way, para ko kanina ba, ano una mong ko mag-quanti? Because I'm only interested in the low-level satisfaction. I wanted to know what their experiences are. Mo tong una gid ko magpa-survey para ma-classify na ko akong clients, ma-identify na akong low-level satisfaction, and ask them what made their stay at SM not satisfying, so that we can address it, right? That's how you organize the sequence so that it brings about a much deeper, much meaningful result. And finally, kaning tulo, usually mabuhat gani sa estudyante, kaya kanin nila. Ang pinaka-challenge is kaning kaupat. When we frame our procedures within a theory or philosophy. As a doctoral student, you can do three things. Okay? I want you to remember this. One is test a theory. And if it does not hold true, suggest modification. That's what the first thing you can do. Second, there's no theory. Create one and then test it. Third, there's an existing theory, but you do not agree with it. Modify it first and then test. Muna usually ang ginabuhat sa mga dissertation. And those three, when you can frame your study according to those three things I said, then gwapo din kayo in yung theoretical framework. Kasi pasabot ana, sir. So for example, the first one, there's a theory. Sir, I wanted to test the technology acceptance model to Filipino teachers. Okay? I've seen in the literature, wala pa ga technology acceptance model. Sa TAM is, example lang niya for the sake of kanang example. A technology acceptance model is a theory used to explain how and why teachers use educational technologies in their classes. So, muna about ang theory. So, I wanted to look at whether the technology acceptance model help explain in the teachers in the math teachers in the Philippines, whether they use Edmodo or sa man yung mga gamit gali. Dili Edmodo sana sa math kanang dili Edmodo. Tiguang na kita ng Edmodo. Kanang math GeoGebra sorry. GeoGebra for example. Whether whether the TAM help explains the use of GeoGebra or not. So dapat ang dialogue din ni sa inyong theoretical framework. You discuss how you would use TAM. The TAM will be used as a basis to establish a questionnaire and then use that to float to the teachers and then get the results and then ask katodeng sumpayan din ninyo qualitative. Whether kung ano ka mag-structure equation modeling din ka, whether ang TAM ba or ang katong results mo sa Philippines would fit the TAM model. If it would not fit the TAM model, what is your explanation? Then you do quali. Then you can suggest modifications of the TAM model. Diba? The TAM model. The technology acceptance model, not the TAM. Acceptan ko ninyo. That's the first one. There's an existing theory, test it, and if it does not hold, suggest modifications. Second, there's no existing theory. Maningingon ni Sir Sandy. So, I think maningibuhat ni Pasco, there was no current definition of mathematical grit. Man siguro to yung variable, nalimot ko. There was no existing definition of mathematical grit. So what he did is used existing definitions of grit in education and in psychology and used that to identify students in mathematics and then interviewed them. And from that, he developed his own definition of mathematical grit. And then, so naging mo siya iyang model, naging mo siya iyang own theory, J. Pasco's grit, something sa tinatawag adto. And from that, he developed an instrument and then tested his theory using CFA, EFA, FA, then CFA, and so on. Diba? Nga na niya pag-structure. So the theory, the procedures was framed within the theory. So katong una, testing a theory. Kaduha is developing a theory. Third, ang akong matag may example ani kaning friend ni Sir Lester, si Edward. There was already an existing model on classroom talk. Manto iya, Sir Lester ba? There was already
Yes, sir, classroom talk, sir.
there was already an existing model on classroom talk. So what from Singapore, I think to yung gigamit nga model. From that, he tried to look at whether that model was ayun play ako example. Sorry, the third example is there's an existing model, not a good example. Ang ako the example is familiar mo ng TIPAC? Technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge, di ba? We had a PhD student in math. Medyo taod-taod na siya to, 2019. She argued that TPAC daw can still be modified. And when we describe content knowledge, napud tayo gitawag nga specialized content knowledge man to yung argument niya. Ang math daw is so special nga dili siya ma-cover under content knowledge. So what she did was she proposed another model she called it STAMPAC siguro. Nalimot ko. Murag specialized, something technological, mathematical, something nga na, but she proposed another variable ba nga si math daw is so special na dapat dili siya ma-generalize as content knowledge, something nga na to yung work. Then yada yung gi-float, yung gi-test, and then see if the model stands. So nga na gihapon. So how you frame the research questions in your dissertation should fit in your objectives. Would you want to test a theory? Would you want to develop your own theory? Or would you want to modify an existing theory? Okay? And then organize the procedures of your study according to that framework. And then, of course, harness the advantages of getting quantity and qualitative data. Okay? I hope that's clear. So now let's take a look at some. Yes, Sir Elnor.
Sir, I just would like to ask clarification with
Sure.
the first and the last one. So, bali kay duha in first and the last example good sir kay they're both kay existing theories
Correct.
siya, correct? Tapos both pod kay okay. So, ang dinhi sa first day, sir, proven nga not true. Ang sa last lang kay don't agree. Okay, it makes sense. Ako na ito baga akong pangutana, sir.
Dili akong balikon kay basin ang some others might. So first one is you already have a theory and you just want to check whether it holds true in a certain population. And then if it doesn't hold true, use your quali to explain why it isn't true. Wala kay gi-modify. Si second is there's already an existing theory but you feel it lacks certain component. Like for example, ang definition ni Walag about mathematical creativity, duwara ka variables. Ang explanation ni Sugumpan about mathematical creativity tulo. Kunya ang isa adto ga overlap sa PICAS. What if i-combine ako silang tulo? So that's modifying an existing model and then you test it. Oo. Mo na siya. And often gyud sa dissertation katong second ug third ang gagawas. Katong first, dili kayo to na mo gina-encourage for a doctoral dissertation. Master's thesis, pwede. But for a doctoral dissertation, we'd like to see kanang innovation in your work. Monong gapangayo may ganang na something new. So if you cannot make your own theory, then at least offer improvement on existing theories so that you can be considered as hilason, di ba? Okay, now that let's take a look at some examples of problems requiring mixed method study. Okay, here, a researcher collects data on quantitative instrument and qualitative reports based on focus group to see two types of data show similar results but from different perspectives. Sige. I was tasked by the president sa una manggod katong lahi pang congressman sa first district sa Cagayan. They proposed to open USTP Lumbia. Siya ni Daog. But before siya ni Daog, I was tasked by the president to come up with the research to propose programs to offer in USTP Lumbia. Yeah, bago man ko na training adto sa 2020 man siguro to. Bago ko na training sa mixed methods adto so naghinilas ko nag think ko og mixed methods nga project. So what I did was I proposed a project. The first goal was number one, to look at the career preferences of high school and senior high school students so that I know what they want to take. Second, that's quantitative. Second is qualitative. I'd like to interview the stakeholders, the industries around the Lumbia area and neighboring barangays. What skills do they need for their future employees? And then I use that to create a matrix. The career preferences and the skills needed by the industry. And then find overlaps and then find gaps. Overlaps, I don't care. Why? Because I'm not interested with the career preferences of the students. Because the students might be interested in taking philosophy or psychology, but there's no need in the industry. What I'm more interested is the need of the industry. That is why I'm looking at the gaps. The gaps will help me identify two things. One, it will help propose the mga program offerings. Second, it will help me identify extension projects so that those high school students will learn to love those career and they will take those career through the programs we will offer in USTP Lumbia. So here, you see the integration of quanti and quali by looking at the overlaps and the gaps. So dili siya nag-survey lang ko, nag-interview lang ko, mixed methods na dayon. Okay? Dapat na sila connection. What did the combining of mixed methods, the combining of quanti and quali offer you something new? You can only do that when you integrate them. Then you generate a new knowledge. Diba? Then it makes more sense. Ang problema lang, wala to na dayon kaya napildi man ang congressman. Wala siya midaog. So, taga-lahi man nga barangay. Yes, Sir Elnor.
Sir, I'm just curious, since we have been discussing about meta-analysis from our previous meeting. Now, let's say, for example, we have the analysis using the meta-analysis, and then we integrate qualitative. Will that be considered as mixed method already?
Oh, that would be interesting. I think, yeah. Pero, ang meta-analysis mo is it's not pure quantitative. So it might not be that. I think that would be the first time I would encounter. Wala pa ko kadungog og nag-meta-analysis and to check it with the quali. That would be interesting. So I cannot answer
Okay, thank you,
you,
sir.
but meta-analysis is not purely quanti because it's literature review. Although na siya quanti kay mag-stat man. Sige, magbasa ta, sir. That's a interesting insight. Basi makashare ka next time. Pwede kayo, no? Okay, later sa atong discussion, you would see that the major challenge in doing mixed methods research is resources. And meta-analysis would require the least resources. I think, no? Sige, so that's an example of the first one. Let's proceed. Second one is, ako ning gatang example kaganina, katong survey una, dayon mag-interview dayon. And dili pwede nga una si interview, una gid si survey because the survey should help you identify whom to quali. It's pointless to do survey first if it does not lead you to your quali it would not lead you to your quali component. Okay? It's sayang. Nag-interview na lang ta kauna, kaya ka nag-survey. Pareha naman walay pulos. Pareha naman walay pulos. May pag wala lang kay gibuhat. Joke. Sige. Third, here, maning gihatag nga example ni Sir Sandy kaganina, we begin with quali first, and the justification is because it's an exploratory. There's no existing theory yet, so we wanted to look. We're interested to examine first what are existing. Then maybe we can look at patterns and then develop something. You can develop an instrument, you can develop an intervention, you can develop a tool, and so on. So pwede nga na, or an instructional material, pwede kayo. Like for example, I remember we had a master students who did a qualitative study on what kind of features do students like in an instructional material. And it came about, yang gusto din sa mga estudyante is kanang graphic novel. Mananda yung mga estudyante, kanang bitong it talks about adventure, o nga na ba? Oh, so nga na to yung sa chemistry to silang ganahan sa chemistry. Kaya students daw wanted to see kanang chemistry in application ba? Motong buhatan o graphic novel. Okay, next one is um for example, you're doing nagingani sa math. Murag wala pa so far. Sa amo na ani sa science dagan, mas ganda mong science dagan og ingani. Kanang there's an experiment that you wanted to do, but you feel that the experiment is lacking. So you want it to enhance. And what can enhance an experiment is a qualitative data. Like for example, you're doing an intervention, you wanted to test saman sa inyong math, sa inyong ginagamit. You wanted to propose a new way of solving problems, for example. Unsa ba na diya dili na using sa galina kanang given
Polias
folya.
method, sir.
Dili na folya. You have your own way of solving problem, no longer Folia's method. So that's an experiment. An experiment tells you it's effective or not, diba? If it's, let's say, quasi-experimental or true experimental, it will provide you whether it's effective or not at certain limitations, of course. But it does not tell you why it's effective. Right? Ikaw na magsigo na ako na sa researcher, effective siguro to kay engage sila. But those are your opinion. It's not grounded on data. So how do we ground that on data? Do quali. Where do we do quali? 3 ways. Before the experiment, during the experiment, or after the experiment. If it's before the experiment, that would help you design the experiment. Yung kung ka, unsa lang mga ganahan sa experiment, unsa lang ganahan sa mga sa solving. So that would help as an input to your experiment. Second, during. This will help you identify what barriers or challenges they encountered in the intervention. Third, explanatory ang dating. It will help you identify kinsay nag-improve, kinsay wala nag-improve, o ngano wala sila nag-improve. Oo. Magdagan pa tayo istoryahan na in the next few lectures. So that's how qualitative can help improve your your experimental design. Okay? Next, kani medyo challenging ni. Here instead of, di ba, kita sa Philippines mahilig kita mag-compare. Di ba, para nang sa brigada eskwela compare yun kinsay best school, kinsay dili best school. Kung sa gawato ni DepEd karon na sila category big schools, small schools, di ba, na mga nga na mahilig kita mag-compare. And when we try to compare, we would like to level the field. Di ba? We would like to level the field. Kung si big school, compare again sa tanan big schools. The same with this kind. That's actually that's actually meaningful ka nagabuhaton ni DepEd. Although dili lang gwapo ang result kaya nahitabo, naitawag na sa psychology, nalimot lang ko. Nga it induces the wrong effect. Anyway, you wanted to compare PISA results across schools in Bukidnon, for example. And then you wanted to look at whether kinsa dagko og PISA results. So, ingon ta kaganina, it's unfair if we simply compare all schools. So what we do is we categorize them. We group them into certain categories. But how do we group them? So we use quanti and quali to group them. We create what we call as cases. So for example, you classify schools based on the quality of their intervention. So let's say, may mga intervention ginabuhat ni school. So mga qualitative. Second dayon is based on their resources. So based from the two categories, you can classify the school with good, excellent interventions, high resources. So that's first category. Second category, excellent intervention, poor resources. Third category, poor intervention, poor resources. Patanggal na ng principal. Or poor intervention, high resources. So pwede din rin nyo, based from those categories, then you can group the schools and then compare them. So we create cases first. So those cases should help the quantity and quality will be used to create a case, and then the case can be compared. Okay? Another example is kanina medyo challenging ni, although I've seen some papers in mathematics doing this where where the kind of inquiry is participatory, and this is often done when the topic in mind is relating to inequality, relating to mga injustices, relating to mga indifferences. This kind of study, for example, ako mo hunahunaan, si Dr. Bill Atwe, may ako madumduman, basta nga mga study. You know Dr. Bill Atwe? I don't know if you know him. He's a influential math ed scholar. And we hired him before to teach the quali course. Yung ganahan siya ni, muna yung mga ampay. Participatory is, may wala ko mga naunahan nga example sa math ed. So ba yung mga injustices ka-experience sa math teachers? Wala man, no? Na ba? Butang na lang na to, siguro yung injustice. Butang lang ang example. Mga
Sir Ray, sir, may mga biases ang mga teacher, sir. Ako, sir, kay prime example gid ko ana.
Unsa man?
Ang mga teachers, sir, hatagan og mga load nga dili gadawaton sa ubang teachers.
Sa lugar.
Because like for example, wala may mo teach line og chemistry ug physics other than math. Wala po.
Just okay.
Yes. Wala po mo teach og ako mo ga-teach gyapon og English 10 in my case. So, basta ang math sa bisag asa ilabay.
Okay.
Isa gid sa pinaka-injustice dayon ang uban ang English major taga na nagmape kun dili mangaling mape value education. That's real.
Kato sa DepEd pa ka, sir? Sa una? Or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Injustice
Actually,
is
sir, I experienced the same. I was able to teach creative nonfiction. To think na ay master's degree holder nga English.
Okay.
Muna mga injustice, sir. Ako, sir, kay niabot gid ko niagi gid kog time, sir, nga wala ko'y math load. Tungod kay walay mohawid ana nga subject nga other teachers. So,
Okay.
di
Sige, naglisod na nung sa example.
nagtuo lugar sila, sir, nga effective ako gipangbuhat pagbasaha ko ra mga bata kakapuyan ko sahay.
Bitaw. So how do we situate that injustice as form of participatory research? Is we begin with, since it's participatory, the problem should not come from the researcher. How does the problem come out? The researcher should immerse his or himself in the context of the problem. So pwede siya maguban sa mga teachers at the same time so that he or she would feel the problem. And then mag-generate dayon ng mga participatory activities like na mga focus group discussion, na mga workshops where the problems would come out. So for example, kana ang ni come out, Sir Edmond, kana imong ginaingon. Yeah, mura siya action research somehow, but si action research manggod taman lang sa problem identification. Kani manggod si participatory research is the participants of your research is part of the study from problem identification until the call to action. Dili siya taman lang sa pag-identify sa problem. So mag-uban mo sa problem, identification, even sa pag-select sa methods, they will help you whether which methods should be used or not because they know whether that would be offensive. Usually mo kani si participatory dito ni sa kanabitang mga AIDS, mga HIV, kana mga nga na baka nang mga the least, the lost and the last. Mga nga na. Oo. So or mga indigenous people, so nayuban nga kanang offensive sa ila, culturally not appropriate. So, dapat appeal sila even sa pag-select sa methods, pag-interpret sa results. Dili pwede si Elnor magbuot-buot nga, taas ni ang pasabot reason ani nga ni. No. The participant should be involved in writing the results. What do these data mean? And then finally, the call to action. What do we do given this data? They are also involved. So nga na ang participatory. We seldom find this in education research, but gihapon, no? I remember there's a book written by Dr. Atwe. There was a book call, I remember, that revolved around transformative mathematics education. And they really used social justice as a lens in looking at math ed. I think we have one faculty in the department who's doing social justice as part of his dissertation at Ateneo, in the Ateneo, no? In Ateneo. Sige, padayon lang ta, kaya hapit ng alas 12. Next is kani, kung di ka gusto mahuman, kani mong buhaton. This is, we call this as program evaluation. This is saksak sinagol mixed methods research. Wala siya kanang standard format. Kanang it's a research that requires several iteration of mixed methods. I'll give you a good example. When you're doing extension project, for example, you begin with qualitative. A needs analysis. Needs analysis ka una, pag-quali ka. From that, you develop an instrument. Nakay-quanti. Survey nimo. From that, quanti, naka-generate ka kung sa to mga needs sa imuhang stakeholders. Naghimo din ka og intervention. Another quanti. From that intervention, pwede nimo butangan og quali. Kaya intervention man ka. Oh, pag-human, quali, intervention. Pag-human sa intervention, quali. Tanaw nimo kung nag-improve ba gyud ilahang unsa ting needs nga ilang gi-identify. At years after, mag-quanti na sa ka kay mag-impact study o mag-quali. So you see,
Nandili na mahuman, sir.
dili lagi mahuman. Kung bitaw ko kanina, kung gusto ka dili mahuman, nga mo buhaton. But pwede naman putlon, of course. Pwede ra putlon. Dili ra ko taman. We have actually one student in the PhD who's doing something like this, a program evaluation. What he did was, correct, Sir Lester. What he did was he looked at the problems in integrating green chemistry in secondary science curriculum. So ang first niya gibuhat, nag-needs analysis, nag-interview siya sa mga teachers, and then from that, he developed an intervention. Nahimo din siya teacher professional development training. So dito na siya taman sa teacher professional development training. Wala na siya nilaw sa looking at whether that teacher professional development training is effective or not. Tinapod siya mag-impact study. Dito na siya taman. And he's almost actually done. No? One part of his paper, it was already published in a high impact journal. Impact factor of 3 in the Journal of Chemical Education. Ako yung advisor. Pero siya, actually, maayo na siya daan. Wala ako natabang. Sige, padayon. Okay. So, okay, gabasa ko sa chat. Base na. Katong first place. But yara tong component na to sa iyang project. Kamulo pa siya actually. Kaya teacher professional development pa sila. Yeah. Okay. So, what then? Kato to mga examples gihatag. You now already have an idea what kinds of problem requiring mixed methods. So, very importantly, the main goal why we do mixed methods is because we want to harness the strengths of the two methods. So, what then are the problems? So, ako na nang gipang mention kaganina. So, these are the problems that would require a mixed method. So, if the problem you're thinking is not one of these, then dili ka mag-mixed methods. So, for example, if you have results that requires an explanation, if you have an exploratory findings that need to be generalized, you have a primary experimental design that you wanted to expand or to enhance, there are multiple cases you want to compare or to contrast, the participants need to be involved in the research, and then finally, a program needs to be evaluated. Okay? So yeah, here, muna kong gihatag ng example kaganina, there's a need to exist, there's a need that exists where you want to get complete and corroborated results. Ito example ani katong client not client, katong career preference. So we want to see whether naabay corroboration, naabay gap sa results. We call that as convergent design. At nani panganlan, pero makadungdungog na mo sa ila. We call this as convergent mixed methods design. We want to see whether there is convergence or divergence of result. Ang muning kinaraan nga tawag sa mixed methods kung nabay triangulation. Mag-meet ba si quanti o si quali? Kinaraan na ha. Hindi na tayo mag-istorya ng triangulation. Kamu lang kung karaan mo si Sir Edmond. Joke. Sige. Next. If there's a need first to explore. Munang gingon ni Sir Sandy kaganina. Wala pa existing theory. Ngano wala pa may existing theory? Because the participants might come from a remote population. Wala pa na sila na-studyhan. Ba't ka na bitong inyong mga dialogue nga wala pa na-studyhan? Be careful mo, ana ha? Kay kapila na nakagisa o estudyante nga mag-ingon nga wala pa daw, sir, gap yun ni siya. No studies yet conducted. Di lang di kabalo magbasa. You can only say that, I would appreciate only, if you can say that, when you are able to criticize the literature first. So, sa example, mingon siya, correct, Ma'am Princess, mingon siya nga, Walag et al. Conducted a study on this variable, but he only utilized this and this and that. Nino et al. Conducted this, and they only utilized this. While Sigumpan et al. Utilized this and this and that, but they failed to do this. Therefore, ay nga mag-highlight sa gap. If you cannot do that, ayaw yun pag-ingon sa ako nga wala pa ni siya nabuhat. Kaya that would really show nga wala ka nagbasa. Wala ka kabaloon sa pay na study yan. Mga tanah bitaw ko, daw biyon sa may something new ani. Dili siya kaingon sa new. Di maka-identify sa new if wala ka kabaloon sa ang old. Correct? Unya, sa master's thesis o sa doctoral dissertation, mo man ang mga pangitaon balik-balik. What is the research gap? Murong hindi pangutana sa panel. So if you can identify the research gap, ang common good nga common nga technique sa mga estudyante nga, no studies conducted in the Philippines. Wala perminti ilang dialogue. Maulit naman ko. Ako na yung style kay pag Wilga Defense, mag-Google Scholar sa din ko, mag-check sa din ko. Naman lagi. Naman lagi. Oh. Generally, kanang imong idea, dili ginabago. No? Kabalog ito tanan. Dili kita nga na kanang ka-genius nga makaunahon na ang atong research is something new. So asa man nato pat yun para makadaog ta. Dito natupat yun sa method ngayang gigamit. Unsa ra di lang mga gipang buhat. Okay? Like, basin di ay, ang mga existing studies about this is puro ra quanti. Puro ra quali. Ito na to siya pat yun. The quali does not provide generalizability. That's why we want to do mixed methods. We look at whether the quali can still be generalizable to a larger population. Oo. Or pwede po kami ngon nga, ang mga study puro ra quanti. We would like to look at whether this can still be applied in this remote population if this finding will still hold true to this group of people. Assuming wala pa di ako na-conduct. Okay? Sige. Next is, kung nang explain ka ganina, you'd like to look at an experimental study and to improve it by adding qualitative methods so that we can have an enhanced understanding. We can pinpoint explanations why. Good example, ani akong PhD katong bago lang na-graduate. You look at whether experiential games and supplemental games which is better. Experiential games are those games that while playing the game, the students learn. Supplemental is mag-lesson si teacher, then the game is for mastery. Oo. So, amo din itanaw din to namo ang gain score sa students. Minsan tong tag-aso gain score, ubos sa gain score, gipa-explain gi-interview dayon. No taas man nilang gain score, ubos silang gain score. So, that would help explain unsa ngano nag-improve. Yeah, kung nang giingon katong mag-compare sa PISA, there's a need to compare. But the problem is if you only use quanti to compare, it might not be complete. If you only use quali to compare, again, it does not provide a complete picture. Manang maayo if we create cases based from quanti and quali. Then involve participants, especially that we want to shape our interpretation and presentation of data from the participants' context. Okay? Like you wanted to look at mathematics education in the case of prostitutes, di ba? Tulbasan na. Di ba? Challenges in mga mga sabi tawag ka na sa ila. Dili ba na prostitute? Sorry for the term. Na-term na sa ila, nanimot naman ng sex workers. So, samot na noon. Basta mo na sila pasaylo. Kana kay mga kwan mo na sila mga the least, the lost and the last, di ba? Then the need exists to develop, implement, evaluate the program katong dili gusto mo graduate, no. Mo na yung gusto buhaton. So isip-isip. Okay? We go now to the advantages and the challenges of using mixed methods. Although I mentioned most of this earlier, we wanted to harness the strengths and offset their weaknesses. We want more evidence because when we only do quanti, we only have one set of evidence. When we do quali, another set of evidence. But if we do quali, we get 3 sets of evidence. 1 plus 1 equals 3. The quanti data, the quali data, and the insight when you mix the two. And then, you also you also create a bridge, especially abot sa inyong mga departments ba diha. Kaya basin sa inyong uban mga departments, buwag na yung mga hilason sa quanti, na po yung mga hilason sa quali. So basin ikaw ang pwede mahimong bridge for the two, so that they can work together. Ako muna ganahan ko sa mixed methods because akong experience mo is I have majority of my experience is in pure sciences. Unya na-shift man ko towards social sciences, dagan ako mga research sa social sciences. So manang kaya mo bitog na ako sa perfect spot to bridge the hard science and the soft science. So munang naghinilas. Oo. Sige. Then, it also provides multiple, although ito pa nang i-discuss next lesson ang kung saan yung multiple worldviews and paradigms. So, take a look at philosophical and theoretical foundations of mixed methods. And then, it's also practical because it's free to use, no? Walay magbuot sa imo sa mo buhaton, and you can design mixed methods according to how you want it to be. As I've said, you can rearrange them like atong program evaluation. Kung gusto ka mag-quali una, go. As long as you can justify, there's a logical procedure that you follow. And there's a reason why you wanted to do quali first. And then, para sa katong mga nasa state you can also generate multiple written publications because you can publish your quanti, you can publish your quali, and then you can publish your mixed methods. So you generate 3 papers, at least. And then, of course, it helps you improve your skill sets and not only be narrowly myopic on one kind of design. Then finally, what are the challenges? It's the question of the researcher. For example, if you're not familiar with the 2 designs, then it would be a challenge. So best good is at least familiar ka sa isa, then you can get help from the other. No? For example, katong ako isa ka-advise, confident siya sa quanti, but galisod siya sa interview. So he hired another person to do the interview. And then to help him with the analysis of the qualitative data. Pwede kayo nga na. The next, always the question of time and resources. Gusto ba ka mo-graduate? So, you have to consider the scope and the limitation of your work so that it would not be a challenge for you as the researcher. And next, if you're doing the mixed methods wrong, then don't do it, no, because you might discourage other people from doing it because it's wrong. Di sila ma-encourage because sayop imong ginatudlo. So ideally, the goal of one challenge in doing it is so that we can convince others to do it also. And then as a summary, mixed methods includes collecting, analyzing both quali and quanti. Very importantly, integrating the 2 forms of data and using certain designs and framing it with a certain theory, and philosophy. And then it's not dependent on a specific issue. It can be used in many research problems. It has many applications. It's practical and intuitive, and it offsets the weakness of individual methods. And finally, it is not easy. That is why we encourage PhD students to do mixed methods research because it is worth it. Okay? Finally, as your requirement for the next 1.5 hour, which you can do, of course, at your own time or you can do it later, I want you to locate a paper in mathematics education and not necessarily something related to what you want. But just want you to look for a mixed methods paper in Math Ed. And what I want you to do is to review the core characteristics we just described earlier, katong upat, and then evaluate whether the paper that you've read satisfies the 4 characteristics. And then, of course, discuss it in a one-page paper or di mo sugot 1 page, sige, kamo bahala, mati ko lang ano. But at least a page is okay. Brevity is the soul of the wit. Sige. Any questions? Sige, please take a screenshot. Magalas 12 na, di ba nagdali gyud ko.
I believe this is ko answer no. Naa siya sa katong PowerPoint presentation that is uploaded in
Yeah,
the
naapod, correct. Oh. But probably ang naa sa PowerPoint dito kay sa una mo gyud present ko niya. Na-notice na ako kapuyan ko baka balik-balik ang mga gina-present. Di karon din ako gapa-present. So if makakita mo sa somewhere sa U-Step nga make a presentation, don't mind it, okay? Kay paper atong i-submit. Di na ako gapa-present kay kasayangan ako sa time. But if gusto mo mag-present, pwede na sa ano.
Kasi gusto ka magpa-host, sir. Uy, Diyos ko, Jesus.
Unsa na magpa?
Di kay joke lang, nangatawa silang tanan, sir. Oh.
Wala ko kadungog. Unsa to?
Di na ako ito, sir, kay wa kakadungog.
Bitaw. Sige, inay lain pangutana. I hope the session was insightful and I hope you've learned things. Yeah. Unless na pangutana. Nagdali lang gyud ko kay na defense, no? Pasaylo kayo. Sunod-sunod. Wala na?
Okay na po, sir. Okay na po.
Sige, thank
Thank you,
you
sir.
and see you next Saturday for our next lecture. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.